Our Toast to Calvin Coolidge by Sean Ridley, Jacob Robinson, and Alex Rash Whittier. Calvin Coolidge made a lot of great contributions to the United States, both in his time as president and beforehand. He had a lot of successes and accomplishments in his life that deserve to be celebrated.
In 1918, Calvin transitioned from lieutenant governor of Massachusetts to governor of Massachusetts for the first time. He was elected as a Republican, succeeding Samuel W. McCall after McCall chose not to run again. He was in this position during the Boston police strike. And in 1919, Coolidge gained national attention for his strong response to the Boston police strike. He opposed the strike with "there is no right to strike against the public safety by anybody, anywhere, at any time." This gained him lots of recognition and basically paved the way to his election as the vice president. In 1920, Coolidge was elected vice president of the U.S. on the Republican ticket with Warren G. Harding as president. They won by a large margin, and Coolidge took VP office on March 14th in 1921, and served in that role until Harding died in 1923. In 1923, Coolidge took presidential office following Harding's sudden death on tour in San Francisco. At the time, Coolidge was visiting his family in Plymouth Notch. Coolidge was sworn in at around 2:47 a.m., and the oath was administered by his father, John Calvin Coolidge Sr., and the ceremony took place by lamplight in the family house. Calvin is a traditionalist, and this over here is the Boston police strike. Go Calvin!
Coolidge was a traditionalist, as Alex said, believing in the Constitution and limited government power. Coolidge promoted consumerism with his pro-business policies, such as lowering taxes and the national debt. He also promoted thrift, which is buying quality goods. That boosted consumerism as well. While not directly addressing the Harlem Renaissance, Coolidge was very pro-civil rights, so he likely supported it heavily. Before he was president, he even casted the deciding vote to ban Birth of a Nation by D.W. Griffith, an infamous movie promoting racial violence. Coolidge was a nativist, passing the Immigration Act of 1924, which made immigration far more strict for Europeans, while completely banning most Asian immigration. Coolidge was a fan of prohibition, as he tried to enforce the Volstead Act more strictly, and he passed the Jones Act, creating harsher punishment for bootleggers.
Calvin Coolidge achieved many accomplishments during his administration. His primary goal was to lower the huge war debt and to cut the high wartime tax rates. By the end, they passed the Revenue Acts of 1924 and 1926, which lowered the maximum income tax. He also made major pushes in civil rights by passing the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924, which granted full citizenship to Native Americans born in the United States. He also passed government reform bills with the Foreign Service Act of 1924, which merged the diplomatic and consular services into a single merit-based service, ending the spoils system. He also passed environmental protection legislation with the Protection of Forest Act of 1924, which authorized federal assistance with fire protection, permitted reforestation, and broadened the purchase of land for natural forest systems, which protected forest systems all across the United States.